car company Hertz. Now, while you are bound to see them on the streets, you couldn't buy one brand new unless you were a fleet customer. That's because the Captiva was designed to do one thing: keep fleet sales of GM's other CUVs low. Now, the Captiva might look very familiar to you. That's because it's basically a rebadged Saturn Vue from the 2008 to 2010 model year before they went defunct in the 2010. And basically this is also based off of the Opel Antata. So let's go ahead and check out this 2012 Chevrolet Captiva and see if it's a good used car buy. Now, as far as styling goes on the vehicle, it's pretty simple, pretty plain Jane looking too, if somewhat handsome. However, it's lacking modern conveniences like LED daytime running lights, of course, and even projectors as well. No LED tail lights. It's just a very simple and handsome looking crossover here, and it looks like it came straight out of the mid-2000s. But like I said, it is from the 2008 Saturn Vue, which was pretty much designed in 2007, so it is a pretty dated looking car overall. Now here's the key fob for the vehicle, just like the exterior design, very plain Jane looking. No switchblade key here, which I know GM loves to use switchblade keys, but this looks like it also came straight out of the 2000s. But at least you do have remote engine start, and then remote keyless entry, your unlock, your lock, and then your panic button right here. Now it is a silver exterior color with chrome door handles, with a light gray leather interior, power driver's seat with power recline. Now stepping on into the vehicle here, it has a fairly low step-in height. You're greeted with a somewhat stylish cabin design. Now you do have a leather-wrapped steering wheel, 6-speed automatic transmission with manual shiftability and electronic parking brake too. Putting the vehicle into reverse also displays your rear view camera, which is located up on the rear view mirror, since you don't have a large touchscreen interface here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window, and let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors, and you do have a little blind spot mirror. Turn signals on the sides. You also do have these pretty nice looking 17-inch chrome wheels. Halogen headlights with your halogen fogs. Now under the hood you have the optional 3-liter V6 producing 264 horses with 222 pound-feet of torque. Now EPA estimates for this Captiva is 16 in the city and 22 on the highway. Now your base powertrain was going to be a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder that produced about 182 horses. Now this powertrain is significantly more powerful than that powertrain, and I would definitely opt for this one. Now you do have variable valve timing as well as direct injection. Now compared to the rest of the competitors, now like the Honda CR-V as well as the Ford Escape, the Captiva had an optional powertrain which was a strength. However, the 2.4-liter 4-cylinder was very dismal in its fuel economy. But at least it did give you the option of a V6 powertrain, which most cars in the compact crossover segment stick with a 4-cylinder powertrain. Now competitors of the Captiva on the used car market are the Honda CR-V, the Hyundai Tucson, Kia Sportage, as well as the Ford Escape. And then the trims of it were the 1LS fleet, then you have the 2LS fleet, the 1LT fleet, and then the LTZ fleet. You also do have roof rails on the top right there. Coming to the rear, the styling is also very simple. Dual exhaust tips, rear window wiper with a rear window defroster. Power windows, power mirrors, power door locks, of course. Nice soft touch armrest and soft to the touch on the mid door panel and upper door panel too. Pretty good materials overall. This was basically a vehicle that was designed in GM's cheap days of the late 2000s. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Now, as far as the build quality and the materials go inside of this vehicle here, they're pretty average, I have to say. They're not incredibly good, but it's not that bad either. Now, you do have a nice soft touch dashboard. Now, the build quality is pretty much what it's lacking in here. It's not the materials. The materials are really good, actually. Nice soft to the touch all the way in this portion right here and on the upper door panel. The build quality, however, it has the sense of a cheap feeling car. Like, it just doesn't feel that well put together. There are some panel gaps and some crude lines, as you can see, and it just doesn't fit well all together. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, this is probably the thing I hate the most inside of this cabin here. I just don't think it looks good. It just looks weird in my opinion. I don't know what it is, but I just do not like it at all. The steering wheel design just looks weird. But you do have your Bluetooth phone controls over here, and then the steering wheel mounted audio controls, and then your cruise control buttons are over here. But it's not really a high quality look or feel. The leather wrapped steering wheel actually feels pretty cheap. It's not really a good material wrapped around the steering wheel. The steering wheel rim is actually pretty average as far as the thickness goes. It's not too thick or too thin. Now, coming up here, you have a manual dimming rearview mirror, your OnStar, of course, which GM likes to include on every vehicle they produce, your interior illumination lighting, and then your garage home link, your sunroof with your sunroof controls. Now, as far as the seats go, the seats are fairly comfortable. However, they are lacking a little bit of side bolstering. There's not a whole lot of support going on here. However, the thigh support is pretty good. The headrests are actually really small too, I have to say, in today's standards. Now, as far as visibility goes, visibility is pretty average. It's not too good or too bad, but there's a decent amount of glass area all around. However, when you get to the rearward visibility, it can get a little hard to see out of there, but the mirrors do show quite a lot, I have to say. Outward visibility is also pretty good too. Now, coming to the controls here, you have your center stack controls. Here's all your AC controls. You have your fan speeds right here, your temperatures, and your different zones. Heated front seats as well. And then right here you have your traction control off, and then your rear window wiper functions. Up here you have your AM, FM basic stereo system here, XM satellite radio, and then you have your optical disc drive right here. And then if you press on info, it'll give info of like what song is playing on the radio station, for example. And then you do have your equalizer settings like your bass, your treble, and your balancer. Now, coming to the gauges, I quite like the gauges a lot. I like the green, and then I like how everything is green. I think it just looks very unique in my opinion, but I don't know why I like these gauges a whole lot. I just love them. Now, coming to the gauges, I quite like the gauges a lot. I think they look pretty unique with the green. And then down in that center screen right there, basically it's a little center screen that gives you various amount of vehicle information. Basically, it's going to give you your exterior temperature readout, your oil life, and then what gear you're in, and then your battery volts. And then your tire pressure monitoring is right there as well. So it's pretty basic overall, but I like it for the most part, the whole instrumentation. Now, as far as the ride goes in the Captiva, the ride is pretty supple and it rides pretty smoothly, I have to say. However, if you're looking for a sporty compact crossover, this is not the sporty compact crossover you want to buy. Even though it has sport within its name, it's just not a sporty kind of crossover at all. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the Captiva. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle, including the cargo capacity and rear seat passenger space, of course. The liftgate is also pretty easy to open up. Now, the cargo capacity is decent inside of this vehicle here, and you can fold down the seats, of course, to maximize cargo room by pulling these little levers right here. Pretty easy to do. And you also do have a 12-volt power outlet right there. Materials and build quality do follow through in the rear, and you still do have a soft touch upper door panel. Pretty surprising, since this was a vehicle designed in GM's cheap days. Now back here you do have a rear armrest with cup holders and dual mat pockets back here. Overall, I think the Equinox has more rear seat passenger space, because it's not the roomiest crossover, I have to say. I am pretty cramped back here. And that is a very important factor for a compact crossover, to have a decent amount of room for the family. Alright. Full manual passenger seat. The glove box compartment is actually nice and damped in line with felt. Pretty high quality there. Alright. So the Chevrolet Captiva is an okay choice for a used compact crossover. Essentially, if you're looking for a V6 powertrain, decent materials inside, as well as it's cheap to buy and an American crossover. However, there are competitors that are notably better as an overall package. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.